Hi, I'm John Stewart, Chief Investment Officer of Farmers Trust Company. This is The Investor's Edge.
The Investor's Edge, Market Insights with John Stewart, is brought to you by Farmers Trust Company.
Hi, I'm John Stewart. Welcome to the latest edition of The Investor's Edge. First up, the week in review. Fed accelerates taper. Well, if you've been a regular viewer of The Investor's Edge, then you've obviously heard me discuss the anticipation of the Federal Reserve tapering its asset purchase program, as well as the announcement of said tapering 6 weeks ago. For those of you novice financial market watchers, the Fed's asset purchase program is simply a way for the central bank to ratchet up or down the amount of money in the banking system. This obviously has implications for all markets and is certainly at least part of the reason why the stock market has performed so well over the last 20 months. It stands to reason then that the reduction in monetary stimulus from the Fed would create some headwinds for the equity markets. And indeed it has. The S&P 500 is essentially flat since the Fed first announced it was tapering its asset purchases. And there's been significantly higher volatility in recent weeks, certainly more than we've experienced for a while. Now, to make matters worse, the Fed announced earlier this week that it would in fact accelerate the pace of reduction in its bond buying program at twice the previous rate, due to the persistent inflationary pressures that the Fed is charged with keeping under control. So the question now becomes just how much of a tightening in financial conditions will be required to bring inflation to heel. And when the Fed is faced with the difficult decision of fighting inflation or rescuing the stock market, which will they choose? For this week's featured insight, take advantage of tax loss harvesting. Well, the good news is you likely don't have a lot of losses in your portfolio, with as well as the markets have done over the last couple of years. But the end of the year is a good time to take advantage of any losses that you do have to help generate tax benefits. If you've taken a lot of capital gains this year, for example, it likely makes sense to try to offset some of those gains by selling losing positions to generate losses that will help reduce your tax bill next year. Now, even if you haven't taken a lot of gains, you can actually use losses to reduce your ordinary income by up to $3,000. And amounts in excess of that can be used to offset future gains with no limit and or future income, again, at a rate of $3,000 per year. Now, you may be really hoping that that losing stock position rebounds, but it's important to keep in mind you don't have to make your money back on the same stock you lost it on. You can sell your shares in Coca-Cola at a loss and immediately buy Pepsi, or any other stock for that matter, with those proceeds from the sale, thereby locking in the loss from tax purposes while keeping your money invested for future growth. If you buy back the same stock that you sold within 30 days, however, the loss would be disallowed by the IRS in what is referred to as a wash sale. Looking ahead, will Santa Claus come to town? Now, December is usually one of the stronger months of the year on average for the U.S. stock market. The second half of the month tends to be especially favorable and is affectionately referred to as the Santa Claus Rally. Now, since 1950, the last 5 trading days of December and the first 2 trading days of January have shown positive returns for the broad market S&P 500 index 76% of the time, with an average rate of return of 1.3%. So despite the Fed's recent actions, there is reason to believe that Santa will in fact come to town again this year. Investors have actually been positioning for more market downside recently, and the unwinding of those positions should be a positive catalyst heading into year end. Or perhaps that's just wishful thinking. We'll just have to wait and see. Once again, I'm John Stewart. I wish everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and look forward to a blessed 2022. Thanks again for watching.
The Investor's Edge, Market Insights with John Stewart, is brought to you by Farmers Trust Company.